What's cracking, Jack? It's Tuesday, January 21st, and you are in the jungle. 7 games on tap in the association. I've got them all for you. Let's do it. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. I'm going to break down all 7 games in the NBA, give you my best side or total and player prop for each one of those games. Treat it like a menu. Take what you want and leave what you don't. If you're looking to bet exactly what I'm betting, you can do that by becoming a member at silverbackjungle.com or text free trial to the number on your screen and take our free weekly trial offer for a test spin. If you're looking for my single most favorite bet of the day, that's called my $5 favorite, there's a link for that in the comments section for $5 and no further obligation. You get my single best bet of the day text to your phone. Yesterday's bet was Russell Westbrook of the Kings over 27.5 PRA. Congratulations to all who cashed. This video is brought to you by mybookie.ag, one of the biggest and best online sports books that there is. Guys, you should have as many sports books as your state allows. If you don't, you're leaving money on the table. mybookie.ag has a deal for Jungle viewers. Open up a new account today at mybookie.ag using promo code SILVERBACK. And if your first bet doesn't hit, it's refunded up to $500. MyBookie.ag is legal in all 50 states. You should price shop for every single bet that you make, regardless of what book it's on. So our journey today begins in Charlotte with the Cavs minus 2.5 taking on the Hornets. The over-under is set at a hefty 236.5. Darius Garland's still out for Cleveland. Sam Merrill is out as well. Now, even without Garland, though, man, this line seems suspiciously low to me. Cleveland is 8 games better than Charlotte and has a better record on the road than the Hornets do at home. Charlotte's been good against the spread, though 7-3 their last 10 games, but I think this number's short, and I'm going to trust my instincts and trust my read on the game. I like the Cavs minus 2.5, but for a player prop, I like Colin Sexton of the Hornets over 15.5 points plus assists. He's leading the second unit. He's playing over 20 minutes a game, and he's over this in 8 of his last 10 games with a median of 19 points and assists per game, and he's over this number in 82% of his games played this season. Brooklyn plus 11.5 at the Knicks. Battle of New York, the over-under 223.5. Both teams pretty healthy. This is the third meeting of the season. The Knicks won the first game by 36 points at Madison Square Garden as a 15.5 point favorite. And they won the second game by 13 in Brooklyn as a 12.5 point favorite. Now, the Knicks, we know, are running cold. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games, both straight up and against the spread. And they're just 3-15 against the spread their last 18 games. But hear me out. They got booed off the court last game at home. And this is a Brooklyn Nets team that struggles to keep up with offenses that can put points up on the board. The Nets are the lowest scoring team in the NBA. Despite the Knicks' struggles, I don't think they should be favored by less at home than they were on the road the last time they played the Nets. And I don't think they should be favored by 4 points less than they were last time they played them at Madison Square Garden. I would take the Knicks in a buy low spot with a side dish of Jalen Brunson over 25.5 points. Pacers plus 10.5 bless their hearts at Boston. The over-under 226.5. Celtics returning home after a 2-2 road trip and 3-1 against the spread. This is the Pacers' third straight road game. They lost by 43 in Detroit 2 games ago, the first game of the road trip, and they lost by 9 last game in Philadelphia. This is their third meeting of the season. Each team won a game, but the Celtics put up 140 points when they played them December 26th. The Pacers averaged just 110 per game, second lowest in the association next to Brooklyn, and Boston allows the least amount of points of any team in the Eastern Conference. I think Boston puts up a big number and takes care of business at home. I would lay this points with the Celtics, and I like Jaylen Brown of Boston over 6.5 rebounds. He's over this number in 14 of his last 20 games with a median of 8 per game and 13 rebound chances. Hawks plus 2.5 at Memphis. The over-under is 238.5. These teams have almost identical records, both straight up and against the spread. Atlanta better against the number on the road, though, than Memphis is at home. The Hawks are 56% against the spread on the road. Grizzlies 45% against the spread at home. But doing the research in this game, there's not enough that's going to tilt me either way. So let's attack the total here. I think 238.5 is too high. 8 of the Hawks' last 10 games have gone under this total, and 58% of the Hawks games this season. 8 of the Grizzlies' last 10 games have also gone under this total, and 71% of their games this season. Hawks games average a total of 236 on the year, and Grizzlies games average a total of 231. Let's go under 238.5, and let's go Ja Morant under 23.5 points plus rebounds. He's under this line in 63% of games this season with a median of 21. Detroit, minus 9.5 at New Orleans. The over-under is 234.5. Detroit's the best in the East, and they have a point differential of plus 7.2 per game. New Orleans not only the worst in the Western Conference, but the worst in the whole dang NBA with a point differential of minus 7.3 per game. I would lay the points with the Pistons, but for a player prop, I love Trey Murphy of the Pelicans to score 20-plus points. This is a line he's over in 9 of his last 10 games with a median of 25 points a game, taking 20 shots and 12 three-pointers a game in that time. Oklahoma City Thunder, minus 9.5 at Milwaukee. The over-under is 226.5. OKC just 3-6 against the spread their last 9 games, and a lot of that is because foul calls, especially shooting fouls, have not been called as much in their favor. And if you've noticed, they've come way down. Shooting fouls have come way down across the board in the NBA as of late. That's why a lot of players that rely on getting to the line have not been hitting their point total recently, going over their point total recently. That's a foreshadow for my player prop in just a second here. Thunder just 40% against this number of minus 9.5 their last 10 games. Bucks 80% against their line of plus 9.5 in their last 10 games. I like the Bucks with the boatload of points at home, but I like Giannis under 28.5 points. He's been under this in 4 of his last 5 games with a median of just 21 per game. He's been shooting a lot less recently. Like I said, shooting fouls have been down as well, and the Thunder give up the least amount of points of any team in the NBA. So I like the Bucks to cover the big number, but Giannis to go under 28.5. Toronto, last game on the board, minus 4.5 at Sacramento, over under 224.5. Both teams on back-to-backs. Toronto hammered Golden State last night, putting up 145 points. Sacramento got hammered by the Heat, allowing 130, and we had Sacramento with the points in that game. And I'll tell you, not one game does a handicap make, but watching the Kings play last night, Jesus Christ, they look terrible. I trust the current form of the Raptors more than I do the Kings. I would lay the 4.5 with Toronto, especially with those older veteran Sacramento players on day 2 of the back-to-back. And I would consider Emmanuel Quickley of Toronto over 5.5 assists. He's over this in 62% of games this season with a median of 6 assists and 12 potential assists per game. Have a great day, Jungle Nation. Put your favorite NBA total, games, sides, or player props in the comment section, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.